everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think this is our last Camp Creatology project, our last day. So thank you for joining me today. We are going to be making this cute little weaving bear. Now, the primary part of this craft is weaving, and we're going to take some time on that part. Then when we're done weaving this part, you can download and cut out your bear head, or you can draw something else. You can draw your own face and put it on your little weaving body and color it in. So we're not going to take a lot of time coloring it in this class. We're going to take more time to teach this weaving. So what you need for this today is you need a scrap piece of cardboard or something stiff. I'm using a piece from a box, from an old box, or you could use something like an old cereal box. It needs to be pretty rigid, but you need to be able to cut on it. So you need that. You're going to need some yarn. It's kind of hard to do weaving without yarn. If you don't have yarn, you can simply color in your body the way you want with your markers. And then maybe when you get some yarn, you can go back and rewatch this and do the weaving part. You will need a printout of the bear heads. We got our little boy and girl bear heads, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to glue it to a piece of the heavier paper that we've been using in some of our classes. But I'm going to put that aside for right now because we're going to do that last. You'll need a pencil and a ruler. And if you don't have a ruler, you can kind of eyeball it. And then you're going to need some markers for the end and a glue stick for the end. But let's go ahead and get started on the weaving part. Okay, so I've cut a piece of cardboard down. You can see on this guy, he's about 3 by 4. Yeah, he's 3 inches by 4 inches. This one I made a little bit smaller so that we can spend more time. He's he's 2.5 by 3.5, but you can do it any size you want. So once you get your cardboard, cut it down to the size that you want his body. Like here, you can see on my hand how big this is compared to my hand. Okay, I wouldn't go much bigger than your hand because it'll take you too long. And if you want to go back and you really like weaving, you can definitely do something bigger once you understand the concept. And some of you may already know how to weave, but if you don't, that's what we're going to really be learning here. So I'm going to give you a minute to get your cardboard out and get your cardboard cut. And get my ruler over here so I can show you. I know some of you might know how to read a ruler and some of you might not know how to read a ruler. And I will teach you. It's not real critical, to be honest. It's just we want to get our horizontal lines, these guys that are going this way. Whoops, going this way. You want them kind of even. So you want them to be evenly spaced apart. So now that I've got my cardboard cut, I'm going to hold up my ruler. Get this out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to line it up I'm going to line it up on the 6. You don't have to do that. You can line it up on the 0 if you want. But so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, this is 1/4 of an inch. Then the next big line is 1/2 inch. And then the next line is 3/4 of an inch. And then you get to the even. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure down from the end 1/4 of an inch. So from here to here, I'm going to make a line. Then you slide that line up to the 6. And now we're going to do it at 1/2 inch, this next big line right there. Okay. So I'm going to make a line there. And we're going to go another 1/2 inch, which is the next big line, and make a line there. Then the next big line is another 1/2 inch, another 1/2 inch, another 1/2 inch, and then another 1/2 inch. Okay, so I've made lines. You guys can see I've made lines. on my cardboard. A little bit from the end and a little bit from this end, and then evenly spaced in between. And we're going to measure on the exact same thing on the opposite side, just so that we can make our lines straight. So I'm starting at there, and I'm going to measure into 1/4 of an inch, which is this first it's a bigger line, but not as big as the 1/2 inch line. Then I'm going to scooch my ruler over so it lines up on that line. And then I'm going to measure every 1/2 inch, which are the bigger lines here. There, and there. And you'll have as many lines, as the size cardboard you're using. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 lines. Okay. So I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to show you what it would look like if you just kind of guessed where your lines would be. So I'm going to say there. I'm going to do my top 2 lines, and then I'm going to go there, 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 and there. Okay. So I did that without measuring. But I have a pretty good eyeball because I've been doing this a long time. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this side. Now we're going to take our scissors. I'm going to show you on this one. On this one, you can see I cut in just a little bit. Okay. See that? So it's going to look like this. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut with the tip of my scissors, just like that. On each line. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side where I drew my lines. Just going to snip. Okay. So that's what my cardboard looks like. Got to cut on both ends. Okay. All right. We don't need our ruler or our pencil anymore. We need our yarn. So I already cut a piece off just to get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to create what is called the warp. In weaving, you have the warp and the weft. So the warp is what we're going to put down first, and that's what we're going to be weaving through. So we're going to take our yarn, leave a little tail. Okay, I'm just going to leave a little tail hanging off the end, and I'm going to wedge that in there, just like that. Okay, I'm going to take it and pull it across the side and wedge it in there into the other cut, just like that. I'm going to go around the back, and I'm going to pull it through that one and that one. Do the same thing. Pull it through that one and that one. I'm just going to continue all the way down, pulling it tight. You want these to be tight, okay? You don't want those to be loose. You want those to be tight. So just kind of pull it taut as you're going down. So I pretty much, every time I teach a class, I let you guys know that if you want to just watch this today and then go back when we upload the video to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Michael's stores, you can go at your own pace. So if you're having a hard time keeping up, like when I take classes, I like to watch the class through one time before. So I know, okay, I know I need this. I know I need to get my water for my paintbrush or whatever it is I'm doing. So, all right. So now this looks like this. Okay. And on the back, you can see I kind of tucked that under there. I'm going to tuck this end under just to get it out of my way. So you can just put it underneath your yarns just like that. Okay. And this is the side we're going to start with. All right. So now,
Val,
yes.
we don't have any questions yet, but I did want to let you know that Smaya commented and said, "Hi, Val."
Oh, well, hello. Glad you're here with us. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some yarn and we're going to get kind of a long, oh, I'm going to get it out the middle. I don't know if you guys knew this. You see when you have a big skein of yarn like this, if you don't see this piece coming out the middle, kind of stick your finger in there and you can find it. And it's a great way. Then you don't have to worry about your yarn getting all tangled when you're unrolling your skein. But see how this just goes just like that. It's coming right out the middle and it's not getting tangled. Oh, look at that. I have a knot in mine. I wonder why. That's kind of interesting. We're going to have to undo that. Okay, so I'm going to get, let's see. I'm going to measure it on my arm. So 1, 2, I'm going to go 3 arm lengths. Okay, so that's how you can measure it. And if we run out of yarn, you just add more yarn. It's not a big deal. Okay, so now I've got my yarn and now I've got my plastic needle with a big eye. That's the eye. We're going to put our yarn through the eye of the needle and we're just going to let part of it dangle just like that. So we have our long piece and then just a little piece dangling. Okay. All right. So now turn your cardboard up so your lines are straight facing you. And we're going, even though our bear, this is going to be this way, it's easier to hold it this way to start weaving. So we're going to start, weaving is basically over and under, over and under, over and under. So if you go under here, the next one you're going to go over. See how my purple needle is on top of the red? And I'm going to go under the orange. I'm going to pull that through. And then you're going to pull your yarn all the way through. Leave a tail like we did before and push it all the way to the edge, just like that. Okay. All right. So last thing I did was I went under. So I'm going to go over this guy and then under, over, and under, and pull it through. And you can slide your yarn with your fingers, your thumbs, roll it to the end. Now we're gonna go back. So I'm gonna turn my cardboard in my hand because I'm right-handed and I want to be going in that same direction. So since we went under this one, we're gonna go over it and then under the next one. So over, under, pull it through. Don't pull it too tight. Try to keep that line straight down there. And then we're gonna go. Just went under this one, so I'm gonna go over, under, and over. Pull it through. Okay. So slide those together so they look like that. So I'm going to show you on here. Like my warp is a lot closer on this one than it is on this one. So my weaving is going to look tighter on this one than it is on this one. So you can make it however tight or big you want, but I wanted to make this achievable for everybody. And I think it might be a little bit easier if you're younger to have them further apart. Okay. So now got my yarn. And I went, that one's over right there. So that one's over. So I'm going to go under, over, under. Okay. And now over that one, under, over, under. And if you make a mistake, you can pull your yarn out and start over, or even just start that row over. Okay, so that's how we're looking so far. And I love this yarn, this variegated yarn. It changes colors, and so you don't have to change colors when you're weaving. It does it for you. I'm going to turn this around again so I can come in from the same side. I'm going to go over, under, over, under, pull it through. Okay, went under there, so I'm going to go over, under, and over. Now what you can do, if your tail's getting in your way, just turn your thing over, turn your weaving over and just tuck it under like we did the other ones, okay? And get him out of the way. Just go under there. There we go. So now he's out of my way, okay? Right. Turn my weaving around. We're gonna, since I went over here, we're gonna go under, over, under. Okay, see, that's how mine's looking so far. Over, under, over, under. Whoops, pulled my thread out of my needle, my yarn out of my needle. Okay, turn it around again. Okay, if you have it too tight, you can kind of stretch it back out. Because if you pull it too tight, then see what happens if I pull it too tight, then that comes up like that, and then it'll be uneven. And if you pull it too tight this way, same thing happens on the top. So start doing that. Just kind of take your finger and stretch it back into place. Okay, so now we're going to go over, under, under. And over, under, over. Good. Under, over, under. So what you do from line to line is you do the opposite. So if you went under, over, under, then the next line you're going to start over, under. Oh, I forgot what I just said. If you go under, over, under, the next line will be over, under, over. But it's easy just to watch what you're doing. So you know you went under this one, right? Okay, now I'm going to go over this one and under that one, over, under. So if I had a lot more lines, it'd be a little bit harder to kind of keep track of where I'm going. But with the lines, with my warp, I'm calling them lines, I should call them the right thing. With the warp, you can kind of follow what you're doing a little better. But as you get better, you can tighten up your warp lines like this, and then you'll have a little bit tighter weaving. So once you get good at it. Okay. Now I'm going to go over, under, over, under. Over, under, over. Okay. Come back down, over, under. There's some big black crows in my backyard and they are making some noise. Surprised you guys can't hear them. Over, under, over, under. All right. Turned it around. You see how I'm always going from the same side? It's because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you might do the other way. So if I left it like this, then I would be kind of doing that. And there's no reason to make it hard on yourself. So just turn it around. So now I'm going to go over, under, over, under. Over, under, over. Slide them together. Under, over, under. Over, under, over, under. Around, over, under, over, under. Got my tail too long. Over, under, over. Over, under, over. Oops. Pull that all the way through. There we go. Over, under, over, under. If you don't have a plastic needle, you can try using a pipe cleaner. In making a needle, you can, well, I'll show you. I'm going to show you real quick. I've got one right here. You've got one of these guys. You can always make a needle like this. Just make a loop on the end and kind of twist it. And you can put your yarn through there. You can cut this down if you want. But then you've got a big, and you can guide your yarn through your weaving. So that's just another idea if you don't have a plastic needle. Okay, here we go. We're going to go over, under, get through. Whoops. Hit my camera. Let's see. Over, under, over. Under, over, under. And if your cardboard isn't too big, it makes it just easier to hold in your hands too. Flip it around and do what you have to do. You go over, under, just like that. Started pulling mine a little tight. Okay. Get this guy finished. And over, under. And we have just enough yarn. Or maybe not, may have to add some. Over, under, over, under. Whoop, don't pull too tight. Guys getting tired of hearing me say over, under, or you're probably saying that over and over in your head, right? Under, over, under. Oh, I think we'll make this work. I think I'll have just enough to make this work.
Val, we do have a question.
Okay.
If we do not have a plastic needle, can we use a sewing needle?
A what needle? A sewing needle?
A sewing needle.
You can. The problem with that is it's going to be sharp and you're going to stick yourself with it. This is not sharp. This plastic needle's not sharp. And the other thing is your eye on a sewing needle is going to be really little. See how big this hole is? And I can get the yarn through it real easy. So if you have a sewing needle, I mean, there's some needles like a darning needle that has a bigger eye and aren't super sharp. So you could definitely try that. You're just gonna have to try it and see what you can get to work. I think I've got enough to go down one more time. Ooh, barely. I'm gonna have to work that guy under there because it's not gonna work on my needle. These plastic needles are Creatology, so they're made for kids. And there's also a plastic needle in our sewing department. I think they're usually orange that you could use, but these come with a bunch of them in a package. And they're just nice to have on hand when you're doing these things. So I'm going to stop there. Slide this over a little bit so it kind of centers on my cardboard. What I'm going to try to do, see this end, how it's just there? I'm going to kind of try to flip it over and tuck it back under that last warp. I don't know if I can do it or not. Oh yeah, I guess I kind of did. That way it won't unravel. See what I did? I just looped it over that. Okay. All right. So there's our bear's body. Okay. So now you guys know how to weave, and you can do some practice weavings. You know, I have a bunch more cardboard here because I just cut the flap off of a box. So this is a great way to practice your weaving. And it's easy too, because you don't have to worry about taking it off of the cardboard. You can keep it right on there. You know, you could make some bookmarks. There's a lot of things you can do with this, and just make fun little, you can make Christmas ornaments this way. I bet you guys can think of a bunch of things you could do with that. Okay, so since that part is done, if you guys are still working on it, go ahead and work on it, because you can do this other part on your own. You don't need to watch me do it, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to take our bear heads. Okay. And I think I'm going to do her. I'm just going to cut her out real quick. I'm just going to cut her out of the big paper. Okay. So now I have her like this. I'm not going to cut her out until I'm done. I want to glue this onto this heavier cardboard so that when I put her on this, she's not flopping over. Okay. So you can put her on, you can put your head on cardstock. This heavier paper, I think we've been using for some of the other Camp Creatology classes. You could use a cereal box again, things like that. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue her onto my heavier paper. All right. And now it's time to color her in. Him or her, whichever one you decided to do, and you can choose whatever colors you want. I think I'm going to start with this color. Now you can use markers, you can use crayons, colored pencils. Probably wouldn't use paint, just because there's a lot of little areas to fill in, and that's hard to paint with. Plus it's on this paper, and once the paper gets wet from the paint, it'll pucker and curl and maybe even rip. So try to use markers, crayons, colored pencils, something like that. And if you want to draw your own head, go for it. I think that's wonderful. I'm going to do this color in the middle. And we're going to give her lavender and purple sunglasses. You guys like coloring in the lines? It's nice to have lines to follow. Sometimes I'm not real good about staying in the lines, but sometimes I purposely want to draw outside the lines. But just like a coloring book, try to stay in the lines. Hope everybody's having a good summer. I know it's really hot in some places. I'm in Texas, and it's hot, but we're kind of used to this hot in the summer. I was in California visiting my sister, And it was like 113 degrees where we were. It's crazy, crazy hot. I don't like it like that. It's too hot. We had to stay inside in the afternoons. It was just too hot to go outside. I think I'm going to give her a pink nose too. These cute characters that we've been using in camp are designed by our Michael's designers, our creative designer team. They always do such a cute job of coming up with cute, fun, unique characters. There's the top. Let's see, what do we have? I think my brown's too dark. Well, okay, we'll be okay. I'm gonna make her a brown bear. You can make a purple bear if you want, or a pink bear. It doesn't have to be realistic. When I color like this, I like to outline the area and then color it in. You know, everybody's got their own technique. Using these short little markers are a little bit small for my hands, but I like them because they have a point and you can do thin lines, and they have can do a thicker line with it, laying it on its side like that. So they're pretty versatile. Did you see how I turned my paper around so I can get to the area I want? That's something that I notice is you sort of forget that you can do that. You don't have to bend your arm in a funny position, just move your paper. Sometimes it's obvious, and sometimes people just forget that they can do that. And it just makes things so much easier. Even when you're painting, turn your things around so you can get to them better. Okay, let's see, I got one little area left, this right here. I'm going to just do this light yellow color. I think I'm gonna let's see what I did on these guys, these two guys. Oh, so you can see on this one, I looked at the picture and drew it. So I didn't color it in like that. On this one, it's the printout that I colored in. So you can do it however you want. Okay, so I'm gonna leave her sunglass lenses white. And now I'm ready to cut her out. I'm just gonna cut this off of my big piece of paper to make it easier. And again, another tip when you're cutting is use your hand and turn it this way instead of bending your scissor hand like that. Turn the paper. You guys probably already know this, but sometimes you forget. So once again, you guys want to go back and watch me weaving and watch it slow, and you can stop your video. This will be uploaded by Monday. Today's Friday, so by Monday, And it's youtube.com/Michael's Stores. And you can actually get any of our classes there. You can get any of the Camp Creatology classes you might have missed. You find some other fun things to do. If you love drawing and painting and crafting, there should be lots of things to do there. Okay. So now I've got her. Oops. Oh. Yep. There we go. Like that. And we've got my body. And we're gonna glue it. We're gonna kind of tuck her head in under there. So to get our glue stick out and get it all glued up real good. Tuck your head in. Press it down real good. Now it would be fun if you wanted to add arms and legs to her. You could totally do that. Just cut them out of your construction paper or your drawing paper. You could add arms and legs. But that's pretty much it, guys. So this is the one we made today. And these were my little examples. So now you know how to weave. And you can practice weaving. If you got this skein of yarn, you got lots of yarn to play with. And you can practice how to do these things. Well, I hope you guys had fun. I sure did. I hope you were able to follow along. And like I said, go pull up that YouTube channel if you need to watch it again. And I would love to see what you guys do. If you want to put it on our Instagram page and do a hashtag Make It with Michaels, like we can see what you've done in your camp classes and we see all your crafts. All right. That's pretty much it for today, you guys. So thank you for joining me, and we will see you next time. Okay? Bye.